Greetings, my fellow tinkers. Alright, it's about high time we started diving into the Arduino. You can think of it as the central nervous system of the robot. If you can learn how to wield this, the possibilities are endless. But in order to do so, you're going to need to learn, wait for it, programming. Keep calm, it'll be okay. Now, I know programming could be intimidating for some of you out there, but go ahead and give it a try. You might be surprised. Now, I'm not going to dive too deeply into the code in this video. I'll show you a few snippets, of course, and what they do, but I'll save some of the juicy stuff for later. Okay, the first thing we need to do with this guy is to ensure that it's working properly and that we know how to tell it what we want it to do. In most programming languages, we could write a hello world program for that, but that requires us to have a screen. And since this doesn't have a screen, we're going to have to do something a little bit different. Fortunately, the Arduino community has come up with something that we'll use. If you see here, right next to pin marked number 13, there's an LED light. We're going to make that blink on and off 1 second at a time. You ready for this? So here in the development environment, we can actually start laying down some code. Now there are two things the Arduino is going to want to know from us. First, what to do as soon as it starts, and second, what to keep on doing while it's on. So for the first one, we're going to need this line of code here. And then for the second, we're going to need this one. By the way, you can find a link to a Google Doc that I've made that has all this code in it, so you can reference it later. So to tell the Arduino what to do during the setup step, we'll put commands between the curly braces. And for this program, we're only going to need this line of code for the setup. This tells the Arduino to use pin number 13 for output. If you'd like a refresher on what that means, I've got a video for that. Now moving on to loop here, we're going to need more than just one command. To get an idea about how we're going to go about doing this, let me explain a little bit more about how loop actually works. So when the Arduino starts, it'll first do all the commands it finds inside setup. Then it'll jump over to loop and do all the commands it finds there. Once done with that, it'll go back to the beginning of loop and do all those commands again. And again. And again. You know, kind of like a big ring, hoop, circle, racetrack. You know what I mean. Okay, so first we're going to want the light to turn on. So we'll use this line of code here. Next we're going to want the light to turn off. So we'll use this line here. Now if you see something wrong here, you're right. Let's take a quick peek to see what would actually happen if we were to use this code. Well, the light looks like it's on, so why isn't it blinking? Actually, if you've guessed it, it is blinking, but it's blinking so fast that we can't really tell and it just looks dimmer than normal. Just so we can see for ourselves, let's take away this line of code and now run it. Yep, definitely dimmer. So now in order for it to work right, we're going to want to tell the Arduino to hold its horses for a little bit. To do that, we're going to use this line of code here and here. FYI, this number here is the delay in milliseconds. Yeah, it's mind-boggling when you first learn how crazy fast computers will chew through lines of code. So when we run the code this time, looks like it works just fine. Well, alright guys, I have a pretty fun program I want to show you in my next video. If you have an Arduino, you can follow along if you'd like to. And until next time, keep on tinkering.